Hello, my name is Alex Isles and welcome to the Mailman Heritage Trail in Northumberland. Now the reason why I'm here today is to talk about henges, standing stones and stone circles. Now in the Neolithic there was a huge change in the population in Britain, as we've already covered before, as there was a movement of a new group of people into the British Isles. And this new group of people in the late Neolithic, early Bronze Age start building ritual monuments around the landscape. And henges are one of these ritual monuments. Now when you have these ritual monuments, they start off very, very simple. And it could have just been initially that you would have a single standing post, possibly in the middle of a clearance in a woodland, or maybe a single standing stone. But over time these were added to, edited, changed and modified, so they became more and more significant to the local people. Now a henge, when I say the word henge, you probably think of the most famous of all the henges, and that is Stonehenge. Obviously that is a very internationally famous monument, and that's one of the last of these stone circles. It was constantly being edited and changed over the course of its history, and in fact we don't ever think Stonehenge was finished. It was never intended to be finished. It was always a work in progress. The early henges, or what a henge actually is an area of ritual space. So you would dig a ditch to an area, and then you would pile up on a mound on the outside edge of that space the soil from the ditch. So you've created an enclosure. Think of it today like our very important significant sites. So for instance, churches, mosques, synagogues, places like that, a temple. What you've done is you've created a space where worshippers can enter and they can go in to be communing with their God, but alongside that as well, where they can be with other people in their community. Once those henges were created, we find that they would take posts and place them in the ground. And so right here at Mailman, what they've done is they've actually recreated a henge that was excavated locally, and you can see that there are posts both outside the henge going around, and there are also posts inside the henge. And it could be that there was an outer space and an inner space, and different things would have different meanings at different times of the year, because you have to think a lot of the time these henges would align with the seasons. So you would have the henge alignment with, for instance, the winter and the summer solstice, which can be seen very, very clearly at Stonehenge. In the same way, these henges up here would also in the same way align with different times of the year and different local monuments. So for instance, hills and other monuments in the landscape. So when you've got these monuments in the landscape, over time they would be edited and changed, and what we see is they suddenly adopt standing stones. And so when they adopt standing stones are then placed into the henges, often replacing the earlier wooden posts. And so when the wooden posts are replaced, you start seeing stone circles, and then those stone circles become more and more complex with greater numbers of them, and numbers of stones added and then changed over time. Unfortunately, a great number of the stone circles across the British Isles have been damaged. Sometimes they're being just recycled to be used in buildings, sometimes they're being recycled to basically be broken up to make stones for farmers' walls, things like that. And other times they're being damaged as well by different people who've basically associated them with various different religious ideologies over time, and so they've been damaged and destroyed as well. So when you have that all the way through this area where I'm standing here as a part of the Mailman Trail, we're actually a part of the Millfield Valley. And this Millfield Valley, there is a huge number of ritual spaces that align to the late Neolithic straight through to the Bronze Age, and they take you on a route from Millfield right the way down to Yeavering, which is a very high local hill. And then Yeavering was probably a holy site for the Bronze Age people. Then going into the Celtic period as well, Yeavering then has a hill fort placed on top, which is a very large area, possibly a capital city of the Celtic people who lived in and around this area. So you've got an incredible importance to this site right here, where it connects to a larger ritual landscape, where this henge is just one of a number of stone circles that connect all the way through and take you on a journey to a spiritual mountain, to a high place where there would have been other rituals and things like that which would have been conducted on that site. So when we think of stone circles, it's really important that we don't think of these as single monuments on their own. Just like the discovering with the archaeology of Stonehenge, it's a part of a larger amount of different ritual spaces within the area around it, which show that there were a number of different processions or religious significances at different times of the year that would all add together to make a calendar of events that were very important to the people of the Bronze Age. In a similar way, here in Northumberland, there is a route that takes you through this valley, which is incredibly fertile and a fantastic place for people to live, that would finally take you all the way up to a holy mountain, Yeavering Bell, where there would be final rituals and significance, or even a royal site, which would bring everyone together. And later on, that royal site continues to be of importance because it's then worked into the kingdom of Northumbria as the capital city of Ad Gefrin of the King Edwin of Northumbria, right up here in the northeast of England. So you can see that these holy sites continue to be of importance for thousands of years after they were built, even into an age where we have recorded history. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video today and you've learned something about the Henges, their monuments, and how they were utilized over time. And it has been something that has brought alive a period of history that may be so difficult to understand today. If you have enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe, share the video with your friends, and alongside that as well, if you would like to support me further, I do have a Patreon channel where you can support me by where you can support the channel and also be involved in helping to steer the creation of further content in the future by suggesting videos that I could film. Thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.